So hello and welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. Today we're going to be looking over this lovely new Datacron set called Unexpected Resurgence. That is the name of it. So it's going to be a bit of a different video setup because they haven't posted all the stuff online yet. However, oh boy, you can see the stats over here on the right side. We're getting health, protection, defense, crit damage, special damage, and physical damage all being boosted this time. So we're returning to the defense meta. Woo! You know, 25, 50% on the first two levels, and then 50 to 75 on level 4 and 5, and then 75 to 100% on level 7 and 8. Yeah! Just what we needed. Before we get too deep in it, we can also take a look at the fact that CG is breaking just about everything underneath the sun right now with Datacrons. Known issues. This is what the update that just went out just now, today. There's already known issues with the Night Trooper Datacron, where your recovery and offense gain is applied twice per blight stack on the Night Trooper. And then the healer roll, we'll get to the healer thing in a second. So crit hits from thermal detonators are increasing speed, which is unintentional and will be fixed in an upcoming update. And then Night Trooper itself is not functioning properly. The battle for Naboo has a litany of issues, so I mean, my guild's not going to be able to do it anyways, starting until, like, I think Thursday or like Wednesday or Thursday. But anyways, back to the Datacron set. So those keen-eyed of you noticed a lot of different things here. First and foremost, it's light side, dark side alignments. There are a lot of character roles. We got Cup, Trip, Gamorrean Guard, Gar, Enfys Nest, IG-11, Watt, Vandor Chewie, Wampa, Visas Mar, Ewok Elder, Sabine, Darth Nihilus, Jedi Consular, Sortie, Young Han, Iden, Barriss, Stormtrooper Han, Boskin, the Geo Soldier. Do you notice how there's not really an overarching faction here? Well, that's because instead of actual factions, if y'all saw before I scroll down, everything is being based off of what role your character has, like if they're a support, a tank, a healer, or an attacker. So now not only do you have to line up the correct role you want to get, like, you have to literally line up which, like, if you want an attacker Datacron, you'd for like is Iden an attacker? I may be misremembering, but like Wampa, you'd have to roll for that, like an attacker, and then like Stormtrooper Han, you have to roll for tank. Yeah, Iden's an attacker, so you literally have to know what each and every tag for these characters are, which isn't really the hardest thing. Like Nihilus is support, Consular's a healer. But anyways, let's just get into what everything does beyond, you know, the blatantly obvious health being boosted. Like I said, protection, defense, crit damage, special damage, and physical damage. It's gonna be, actually, I'm not really disappointed with these stats. Defense returning, not a fan of it, but I mean, you know, whatever. All right, so alignments, we've got I'm a red tag. Whenever we were talking about it, I'm like, where is this new Datacron set? Where are you seeing it? It's not posted on the forums yet. So no, it's in the stupid Datacron store. You can refresh it and see it. The return of the Datacron for protection up. So every time you inflict a dot, you get 5% protection up stacking. However, that means you can pretty much instant nuke Lord Vader with Boba Fett again. So, you know, there's that. First time dark side ally is defeated, they revive with 100% health. Reset their cooldowns to gain a bonus turn. That actually isn't horrible. Whenever they use a basic, they gain speed up for 2 turns. Interesting. Whenever they use a special, they gain 15% TM. That'll be pretty good for teams that churn through their specials like no tomorrow. And then dark side allies start battle with protection up 20% for 2 turns. And not the biggest thing. Light sides are completely different. Whenever they inflict debuff, they deal damage equal to 2% of the enemy's max health. At the beginning of their turn, they have a 25% chance to dispel all debuffs themselves. Not the best, not the worst. Ah, there's a good one. Whenever they use a basic, they gain crit chance up, crit damage up, and offense up. Nice. Whenever they recover 2% health whenever they crit hit people. Okay. Whenever they inflict a debuff, they gain 2% crit chance, stacking for 3 turns. Jiminy Christmas, they really did not do the light side roll really well. It's like you either got to do this debuff dispelling, buffs on basic, Maybe if you want to do 2% max health, but you'd probably want to do stacking crit chance instead if you inflict a debuff. Alright, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this video, because this bit's probably going to be either one of the longest or shortest bits of this video. So, the support mechanics. Let's start with the longest one here. Whenever a support ally starts their turn, dispel tenacity up from all enemies and then reduce their tenacity by 100% until the end of the turn. Okay, you'll want that. Whenever a support inflicts a debuff on an enemy, all allies get benefits based on the rolls for Rusty Encounter. Attackers gain plus 10% crit damage, healers gain plus 5% tenacity, supports will gain 10% potency, and tanks 5% defense. Whenever support grants a buff to another ally, they also inflict buff immunity for one turn on all enemies. So you're definitely going to want that for your support characters. Let's see, at the start of their turn, support allies recover 50% protection if they inflict at least 5 debuffs on a turn. Okay. Whenever they grant buffs to another ally, that ally gains 10% TM. Whenever they attack at a turn, they have a 25% chance to remove 10% TM. And then the ability block roll at the very bottom there. So, obviously for supports, you're going to want this. The big, reducing your enemy's tenacity by 100% until the end of turn is lovely. Getting all of this on every single, different role, attackers, healers, supports, and tanks, just extra stat boost across the board is lovely. And then the buff immunity on all enemies for a turn is also great. I mean, it can be dispelled, but still. That's ridiculously good. I mean, also protection recovery might be good for some characters depending on supports. I actually need to look up the support role because I don't remember who's a support. Let's see, ability classes or alignments. No. Support. Who does AoE support stuff? Okay, Piet maybe could do it if he lands all of his dazes. Boss and Ass will really benefit from that whenever Gungankron's gone. Captain Rex will benefit. Afra could. Palpatine. Fifth Brother could as well. Wow, okay. Maybe Moff Gideon. And, oh, the Night Sisters will definitely really love that one. Watt, not really so much. Yeah, there's some options there that could really benefit from that support role. Asajj probably could, maybe. Adrad, possibly. Bastila Shan would probably benefit from that TM gain one. But anyways, enough of that one. Alright, so tanks. Let's start with the top and go to the bottom again. At the start of their turn, tanks gain 20% of their max health as max protection. The first time they lose all their protection, they recover 100% protection and gain 50% max protection. Okay, you'll definitely want this roll. Whenever tanks are inflicted with a debuff, they taunt for 2 turns. While taunting, they receive 50% less damage from out of a turn attacks and assist whenever an allies use a special ability. Okay, so nifty. Whenever tank allies critically hit, they gain 100% crit avoidance and 100% crit chance returns. At the start of each turn, if non-GL tank allies have 50% or more TM, the damage they receive is reduced by 75%. So the TM reduction, damage reduction one. The grit rolls back at start battle. Tank allies lose all of max protection and gain that much max health. They gain grit until the end of battle, and they take reduced damage from percent health damage effects. And then tank allies start the battle with damage immunity for 2 turns, which can't be copied, but it can be dispelled. So the tank one's not as OP as the support one, but that gaining max protection and also flat out 100% protection recovery and then gaining 50% max protection is really going to benefit like Chrysanthemum and characters like that. Maybe Shore. Royal Guard's not really going to benefit from it because he loses all of it whenever the battle starts under Vader. Crit hit, the crit avoidance is also probably going to be beneficial for like a Starkiller team, maybe, unless you're going for like a Visas Mar Datacron. This one right here, probably the best, like one of the other best ones right here. The damage reduction based on TM. Unless you're removing TM constantly from the tank, you're not really going to be doing a lot of damage to them, obviously. Grit is good for, I think, the Wookiees. I think the Wookiees have several tanks, actually. Let me go look, because I don't remember what the Wookiee tags are. Let's get rid of support. Let's see. Yeah, you got Clone War Chewie, Chrysanthemum, Vandor Chewie, Zalbar. So yeah, if you're wanting to do like a Tarful team with Zalbar, Clone War Chewie and like maybe Vet Chewie and Vandor Chewie. And, you know, you could do something like that. You'd have to find another Wookiee, though, to make it work, but got options there. Alright, healers. What's going on with the healers? Whenever a character is healed by an allied healer, they reduce their cooldowns by 1. Alright. Whenever an allied healer is critically hit, they recover 10% health and gain 10 speed, stacking to 100 for the rest of the encounter. Whenever an ally is revived on an ally healer's turn, all allies recover 100% max health and protection. And the first time each healer ally is defeated, they are revived and recover 100% max health. Okay, that's a little busted. Let's see, whenever healer allies target another ally with ability in their turn, they both gain 5% defense, max health, max protection, and often stacking until the end of the battle. Okay, I'm gonna go look at the healer tag because I don't really know how many healers we have. I know it's kind of a short list. Alright, so we've got Barriss, Ewok Elder, IG-11, IG-12, Jawa Engineer, Consular, Jolie, Luminara, Old Daka, Seventh Sister Talia, Tusken Shaman, and Visas Mar. So you'll definitely want this work. You'll want to work on one for like Visas, IG-12, maybe Luminara and Consular if you're wanting one, Daka, Seventh Sister as well. And like I said, definitely Visas, because Visas has her own level 9 roll. Continuing on, at the start of each turn, healer allies recover health protection equal to 50% of the amount enemies recover that turn. Okay, whenever healer allies recover health, they recover protection equal to the amount of health recovered. Healer allies cannot recover this protection way more than once per turn or if their health was full. Whenever healer allies have full health protection at the start of their turn, they deal plus 100% damage on its turn. Okay, that last one is kind of really situational because unless you're running this with like Jawas, it's not really going to be happening or proccing that often. But that the stacking stats one obviously is really good. The big lengthy one's really good. You know, first time they die, they're revived. The only way to really stop that is with like gas or like someone that ensures they cannot be revived, so permadeath kind of thing. 100% max health, max protection is ridiculously good. But yeah. And now for the attackers. Wow, this is ridiculously shorter than I was expecting. Whenever an attacker critically hits, they attack again, limit once per turn. Otherwise, they gain 10% defense stacking. Okay. Whenever attacker attacks at a turn, to deal bonus true damage, which can't be evaded. Well, that's incredibly good. So basically, if you don't crit, you're getting 10% defense pin, and whenever you attack at a turn, you're dealing bonus true damage. Ridiculous. Whenever attacker allies critically hit an enemy during a turn, that ally gains 10% off in stacking for 2 turns. Whenever an attacker ally defeats an enemy, they take a bonus turn. At the end of the turn, attacker allies gain defense pin up and offense up for a turn. And whenever they use a special, they gain Ripsay for 2 turns. Okay, so the attacker one is obviously the more lackluster one. But I mean, there are some good nifty ones in there. Like, Starkiller would really benefit from this. But I mean, if you're wanting to make a Visas roll, you're not going to be able to obviously use this unless you just want to forego having a Visas Mar Datacron. I haven't really looked at the character rules yet, so bear with me. Defense pin up and offense up is going to be annoying for several teams to contend with because that's just extra buffs you have to dispel, and then it's just giving them extra damage output. Ripsay is also good, especially if you want to give it Starkiller, or I keep mentioning Starkiller, but like, you know, I mean, even Terran Malicos will really benefit from it. The Resistance teams will. Even lots of Jedi teams will, like Qui-Gon. So, I mean, even maybe if you want to do if you want to give it to like a Darth Sith Empire team, maybe, you know, like Darth Revan will like it. So, all right, now for the characters. Oh, what the fuck is this? Hold on. Oh no. Oh no. This is why they didn't put factions in. They made it based off your role, and then you have multiple roles per character. Holy fuck. Alright, so let's start with Coruscant Underworld Police. Whenever they use a special, they shock all enemies for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. The first time to reach 50% health, he gains damage immunity for 3 turns, but it can't be dispelled from the looks of it. At the start of his turn, he gains 50% offense per active ally. His attacks ignore protection, and the random ally recovers 100% protection until the end of his turn. Okay. And whenever they use a special, they call all allies to assist, and the target enemy loses 10% max health until the end of the encounter. if you don't have Cup worked on, this is actually a really good fucking Datacron just to even have to fucking troll people with. Just get some mismatched Galactic Republic, and you got shock being thrown all over the team. You got offense being boosted on him, protection ignore with his attacks, protection recovery on random allies, and you got a freaking swarm ability with it. Okay, let's see what the other two ones are. Whenever they use a basic on their turn, other allies gain 25% CM. Okay, why would you want that whenever you could just do this? The big roll. Whenever they stun an enemy, Coruscant Underworld Police gains 10% crit damage, stacking to 200% and 5 speed, stacking to 50 until the end encounter. He definitely wants that roll, the really long-worded one with all of that. Now let's look at trips. Whenever a trip uses an ability, they deal more damage equal to half of their tenacity percentage, and this effect will only trigger if trip has more than 0% tenacity. Okay, how much tenacity is... We'll use my trip as an example. How much tenacity does my trip have? I know it has a lot of potency, because, you know, you want to land those debuffs, but I don't know how much tenacity he has. 108.57%. So, would it be like 54% and 54% more damage? Okay. Or you can go whenever they critically hit an enemy, they gain damage immunity for a turn, which can't be copied, 25% CM, and blinds that enemy for a turn, which can't be evaded or resisted. If that enemy was target locked, they trip gains protection up, 100% stacking, retribution, and speed up for 2 turns. Why would you want the tenacity damage whenever you just go for that for trip? Alright, Gamorrean Guard, whenever they lose taunt, they remove 50% CM from all enemies. That's actually pretty troll. That's definitely one you could go for. Whenever dealt special damage, the other ally with the most health taunts for 2 turns. So, wow, that's actually some good options. You can either remove 50% CM from all enemies, or whenever you deal special damage to Gamorrean Guard, you can force Chrysanthemum to taunt. Alright, let's see what Gar Saxon brings to the table. Whenever he inflicts speed down on an enemy, he also inflicts vulnerable, which cannot be copied, dispelled, evaded, or resisted to all enemies for 1 turn, and his cooldowns reset. Well, this is an obvious winner. Whenever Gar attacks out of turn, he blinds to the enemy for a turn. If the Imperial Super Commando is active, Gar Saxon assists whenever the Imperial Super Commando uses special. Yeah, that's a pretty win-win one right there for Gar. And I have a Relic 5 Gar Saxon, so I guess I'll be going for this one. Whenever another ally uses an ability on a turn, he assists, dealing 50% more damage. That's also not a bad one, but you would preferably want this vulnerable one, the one with vulnerable and cooldown reset. Oh, wow. Okay, so Infant's Nest is immune to max health reduction. Whenever they inflict a debuff on an enemy, she gains crit damage up 20% until the end of the encounter. Whenever she uses a special, she attacks again, dealing an additional 20% as true damage. Whenever she attacks at a turn, she exposes the target enemy for 2 turns. At the start of her turn, Nest's damage is increased by 10% stacking for every enemy turn taken before this turn until the end of her turn, and will assist the next other ally to take a turn. Wow, that is slightly busted. The first time she's defeated, she's revived with 100% health, gains protection over time, 70% for 2 turns, and takes a bonus turn. That's the other roll. But you would really want this one, being immune to max health reduction, getting crit damage up. Whenever you inflict a debuff on an enemy, and whenever you use a special, which she has 2 of, you get to attack again, dealing true damage. 20% damage is true damage. Okay, IG-11s. Wow, this is lackluster as hell. Whenever another ally recovers protection, IG-11 gains foresight for a turn. That's boring. Wat Tambor. Whenever another ally is defeated, Wat takes a bonus turn and their cooldowns reset. Whenever Wat Tambor deals damage to an enemy, remove 25% CM from that enemy. What the fuck kind of roll? So we go from like really, really good shit, like with here, like Infant's Nest, Gar, and even like kind of Gamorrean being a little troll and Cup and Trip, to back-to-back really garbage rolls. What the fuck? Vandor Chewies. Whenever he attacks out his turn, they recover 20% health protection. Well, if you have him worked on for a dash team, that's beneficial. Or you could go the route of he gains 5% max health and max protection per relic and fire level, and the damage that he receives is decreased by 50%. So Kind of depends on what lineup you go with. If you want to go with dash, that'd probably be good, but attacking on a turn would also probably be beneficial for like a Wookiee team, maybe. Let's see what Wampa brings. Whenever they inflict a debuff, they recover 25% of their max health and max protection. Okay, whenever Wampa uses the ability to deal more damage, max 100%, equal to half of their potency protection. This effect will only trigger if Wampa has more than 0% potency. How much potency does my Wampa have? I know this will be a long video. I really apologize. Oh, my Wampa's potency is garbage. Oh god, it's like 64%. Ugh, that's not good. Let's see here. Alright. Alright, okay, let's keep going. Visas Mar. The first time she's defeated, if there's at least one other active ally review. Oh my fucking god. Revive all other defeated allies, and all other allies recover plus 100% health protection. They gain 100% TM and 100% offense till the end of the battle. Holy fucking hell, that is amazing. So you don't even have to worry about the healer role. You don't have to worry about this one. I mean, do you want it? Yeah, but like, god damn, you go for something else on the Visas role. Holy fuck, that's good. That is an amazing Datacron for her. Ewok Elder. At the start of each Ewok Elders of each of their turns, they reset their cooldowns. Okay, that's busted already. They lose 5% health for each turn each ability was reduced, but Ewok Elder cannot be defeated this way. So you're resetting your cooldowns, right? But then you're also taking 5% health damage based on how many turns they're reduced. That's kind of a two-edged sword there. Not the best, not the worst. It's definitely viable. Alright, Sabine's. Whenever an enemy takes a turn, Sabine gains a bonus turn. During that bonus turn, she deals 100% more damage, and this bonus turn cannot trigger this effect on enemies. Yeah, you want that, definitely, for your Phoenix team. At start of Sabine Wren's turn, they have a 20% chance to gain 50% defense pin per turn. If it wasn't so ridiculously low, that would be good for 50% defense pin, but the reason why it's so low is because it's 50% defense pin. So, next. Ooh, baby, I see a lot of words, and I'm ready. Let's see what Nihilus is cooking. Whenever Nihilus reduces the cooldowns, he gains 75% offense and 20% TM per turn. Whenever he defeats an enemy, he exposes all enemies for 2 turns, which cannot be evaded. Whenever he inflicts a dot on an enemy, all allies gain 3 stacks of heal over time for 2 turns. And if there's another Sith support ally to start the encounter, Darth Nihilus gains 100% max health for the rest of the encounter. Ooh-wee, that is juicy. And if I remember correctly, Miss Treya is support. If I remember my tags correctly, and I'm pretty fucking sure I do. Let's see. Darth Treya, what is your tag? Let's go find out, shall we? Let's. Oh, that might help if I actually typed it into the search bar instead of just clicking away. She is a support, so woo-wee, Nihilus is gonna. That's good. That's pretty good. The first time Nihilus falls below 30% health, they dispel all the debuffs on themselves, recover 40% health, and gain a bonus turn. Not bad. However, why would you not want to give Nihilus 100% max health and all this other stuff? Next. Oh, whoa. Why is Consular so goddamn long? Whenever Jedi Consular is active, all Jedi allies are immune to healing immunity. Whenever he uses his basic, he reduces cooldowns by 1, and he gains 7% max health, stacking to 210% for the rest of the encounter. Whenever he heals an ally, he dispels all debuffs on them, and they gain Jedi's Will for 2 turns. Whenever Jedi Consular uses Jedi Healing, he revives all non-Jedi allies with 100% max health and max protection. Whenever he uses an attack, whenever Jedi Consular uses an attack as defense, you deal bonus true damage equal to 50% of his max health, which cannot be evaded. And the first time they fall below 25% health, he gains 100% evasion for 2 turns. Holy fucking hell, that is impressive. I mean, I was gonna work him up anyways for the raid, but like the Naboo raid, but damn, that is good. Swordy, what do we got here? Whenever Swordy is dealt damage, she reflects 20% of the back to the attacker's true damage. Blah blah blah. At the start of her turn, she dispels all debuffs on herself, and they recover 5% health for each debuff dispelled this way. That will be kind of annoying, but it's not really the best thing, the worst thing on the planet. Young Han, what do we got with Han? Whenever he gains Retribution, he gains 10% health steal, 10% defense, maxing at 200%, and 10 speed, maxing at 200 for resting encounter. Okay, so if you have Young Han actually worked up, that won't be horrible. Or you could go the route of he deals 5% more damage per relic and fire level on all allies until the end of the battle. That's actually not horrible either. Not the best, but not the worst. Alright, Aiden, what do we got here? At the start of the battle, Aiden gains taunt, which can't be dispelled until she's defeated. Whenever a non-droid Imperial Trooper ally is defeated, she gains taunt, which can't be dispelled until she's defeated. Why in the fuck would you want to put perma taunt on Aiden Versio? Unless you're just gonna like put like a really stacked like Imperial Trooper team around her with lots of damage output, which is possible. Or you can go the route of Aiden Versio gains 15% TM when other allies use a special ability on their turn. That's really fucking weird for an Aiden Cron. That's weird as hell. I don't know how to feel about that one. I mean, I'll go for it still, but like, it's weird as hell. Barris, whenever she uses a special, all Jedi allies gain 15% max protection, maxing at 150% for the rest of the encounter. Whenever she gains TM, all allies gain 10% max health, stacking to 150% for the rest of the encounter, and she dispels all buffs from a random enemy. Okay, and whenever she is critically hit, all Jedi allies gain 10% crit damage, stacking for the rest of the encounter. Okay, why would you not want to go for the Barris Cron either? That's pretty good. Stormtrooper Han, whenever he gains taunt, all allies gain protection up 50% for 3 turns. Whenever he is taunting, he gains 100% crit, 100% counter chance and defense, and is immune to critical hits. Whenever he removes TM from an enemy, you reset Draw Fire's cooldown. All allies have plus 50% offense while Stormtrooper Han's health is below 50%, but all allies gain 7% defense while his health is below 50%. Okay, that would be one I might work on for like a Sauna team just to have, because I'm pretty sure Doya has his Stormtrooper Han at Relic 5, if I remember correctly. The first time he goes below 100% health, you recover 100% health protection and gain 100% TM. Not as good a trolley as the other one. Bosk. What do we got with Bosk? Whenever he uses a basic, he gains protection up 50% stacking for 2 turns, and then he gains 50% TM. Whenever he damages an enemy using a special, he inflicts fear for a turn on an enemy which cannot be evaded or resisted. Not bad. Whenever Bosk stuns an enemy, Bosk gains 10% crit damage, maxing at 200%, and then 5 speed, maxing at 50 until the encounter. So you can either go the route of A, hoping he stuns someone, or B, going the first route of gaining protection up and TM whenever you use a basic, and whenever you're using special, inflicting fear. Why would you not want to do that? Geo Soldier. Whenever Geo Soldier critically hits an enemy, they gain 10% crit damage, defense, pain, and offense, maxing at 200% until the encounter. Whenever Geo Soldier damages an enemy with a special and the enemy doesn't have Armor Shred, you inflict Armor Shred for the rest of the battle. Whenever they use a basic and damages an enemy with Armor Shred, they inflict Expose for 2 turns, which is this is basically just the the Kiadi Muni rule right now, which can be resisted, and they gain protection up 50% for 2 turns. Okay, so not the best Datacron for the Geo Soldier. Probably just one you might pick up by accident if you're rolling an attacker cron. So, well, let's see. Clear-cut winners from all this. Bosk with this roll, the first roll. Stormtrooper Han with the real worthy one. Barris, obviously you're going to want. Aiden, I'm not sure on, because, like, yeah, getting taunt on her is good, but if you get buff immunity on her, I mean, if you inflict a buff immunity, then she'll... Well, no, actually it won't be bad, because even with her being forced taunt, the rest of her team could pick you apart. So Aiden 1 actually could be pretty good. Young Han, I mean, maybe if you want him, not the best, not the worst. Sorties, you could probably just flat out ignore, unless you really want the health recovery based off debuff dispelling. Jedi Consular, definitely pick up. Darth Nihilus, definitely pick up the long-worded one, because with you're running him under Darth Treya anyways, you're going to be gaining 100% max health, and whenever you reset his cooldowns, you're gaining 20% TM and 75% offense for a turn. Sabine's, whenever an enemy takes a turn, her getting a bonus turn is really kind of nifty. Definitely wouldn't hurt getting that one. Ewok Elders, if you have Ewok Elder worked on, you might as well. Not really going to be a miss for you. It's not really going to be the best either. It's just kind of there. Visas you definitely want, because why in the hell would you not want it? Because unless they're using like General Skywalker or a character that can where the kill is like a perma kill, then whenever she's defeated, she's gonna revive everyone else that's died along with them and give 100% TM and 100% offense to everyone. So why in the hell would you not want that? Wampa, I don't know. Maybe the protection and the max health and max protection recovery is better of the two. Vandors, I really don't know. I don't really know a lot about the Wookiees to really pick or choose which would be the best. Wat Tambors, it's pretty garbage. Maybe the bonus turn and cooldown reset one will be good, but like dealing damage to an enemy, you have to rely on the dots from Wat Tambor to actually land to move the TM from that, so no. IG-11, unless you've got a lot of protection recovery being spammed, wouldn't be the best, not probably one of your top priorities. Infus Nest, if you have her worked on, you might as well go for that big roll. Gar Saxon, you definitely want the big roll as well, because, you know, whenever Imperial Super Commando is active, he'll be assisting every time you use a special. Inflicting blind on an enemy whenever he attacks out of turn is great. Gamorrean guards could actually be pretty troll. I'm not even gonna lie, you know, whenever they lose taunt, you remove 50% TM, or whenever they're dealt special damage, you're putting taunt on the most healthy other ally. Trips, you definitely want the damage immunity roll with all of that fun stuff. Cups, if Cups won't be a bad one to work on. I don't is Coruscant Underworld Police a requirement in the raid? I genuinely don't remember. Let's look at let's see, new battle for Naboo raid. Let's see. No, it's not required for raid, but I mean, like, even if you just want to work on Cup for the Datacron here, it's definitely not bad. But yeah, sorry for this being damn a long-winded video, but like, it's very difficult to like know what to pick, because they're going the route of basing it off of what roles what the characters are. And like, even if like one of the characters you want to, like, if one of the roles you want to get like a good roll on or a good Datacron on isn't like being boosted, you might as well just do it, because even if the character doesn't have a level 9 roll, you can still get ridiculously good stats with you know, the health, protection, defense, crit damage, special damage, and physical damage being boosted. So I mean, it's not a bad set. It confuses the hell out of me as to why we're going the route of basing off of roles instead of like a faction, but whatever. I'm gonna go get this edited down, and I do apologize for being so long-winded, but I just didn't know how to not make it long-winded. But anyways, if you all enjoyed, don't forget to hit like and hit subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. I hope you have a good rest of your day.